Good morning! It's a sunny Sunday morning in Derbyshire and we have no rain here at the moment, but that will be coming later apparently. My initial plan for this video was to show you how I was going to cut a gorge cum tunnel from one base to another in the map that I'm working on at the moment. However, that very quickly became clear that it would be a very long, very time-consuming, massive task to record and show you the entire building process, to the point where I actually began to get a little bit frustrated with it. So I decided instead I'd go off and build another house. So this video starts inside this new house, and I will show you a little bit more about it when we have got it through to daytime, so that we don't have quite so many nasties patrolling around. Okay, so let's go and show you what I've done, provided I can get my controls to work properly. Yes, ladders can be a bit of an issue, can't they, at times? Right, pause. Okay, here we go. So, there is the house I've originally built out of wood, with my main resource base just there in the mountains. So this, as you can see, has the elements of a watchtower about it. I started building the lower level in cobblestone, but I don't think cobblestone is a particularly attractive material for building. So I eventually went and turned my massive supplies of cobblestone into normal stone, and I built the upper floor with the normal stone, and I think that's much nicer aesthetic for a building. You can see that on the bottom level as well, I also used glass blocks for my windows, but with a little bit more of a refined technique, I was able to use glass panes for the upper floor. Now, as with the other house, I have created a basement. And what I found as well, that if I tried to do steps inside, it took up a huge amount of space, and the most efficient use of space to get to different floors is to use ladders up through a single tile hole. But I also found that if I had one ladder going from basement to roof, it could sometimes get a bit hairy, jumping off at the different levels. So I've actually split the ladders so that they only cover one level at a time. So first of all, let's go and drop down to the basement. Okay, now this basement has got nothing in it apart from a little trapdoor over here, and that little trapdoor over there is down to my mine. And as you can hear, there are creatures down here, but I've not yet found them. Now, when I first dug out this mine, I wasn't sure how far it would go, so I thought I would build an exit out, which is this one here. And as you can see, the exit out is still pretty much close to where the house is. So I've got easy access to the house through two routes, either through the door or through the mine. But I use the trapdoors as well to stop myself from falling accidentally down it. So that basement I can fill with all sorts of little goodies as I progress through this. So back to the ground floor, which is where we come in. I've got a crafting table in there because I have found with each of these dwellings it's useful to have a crafting table in them so you can do things as you move around. We then go up to the second level, which again I've got a bed in here, this time a red one, and then finally up to the roof. And as you can see, I've now put the battlements in there with a nice bit of fencing so that you can still see what's going on around. That little cube there was one that I had to replace with cobblestone, because I did find with these stone blocks, if you actually demolish them, they didn't drop for your inventory. I think they dropped as the original cobblestone, so I've got to go and make some more stone. And this is not the smooth stone neither, that one's a further step in the refining process. But as you can see from here, I get a nice aerial view of the original house, what I call the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin. And you can see the footpath off towards the gorge. Now I will take a trip to show you what I've done so far with the gorge. And the reason I described it as a gorge cum tunnel is that there are times when the gorge is so deep into the mountain that it really isn't worth trying to cut through to daylight, so that it then becomes a tunnel through until there's fewer blocks to cut for the gorge. So here we go. This is the bit that I've started doing, and I have recorded footage of this building, so I could probably look to edit it together into another video, but I'll keep that one in mind for now. That's a little cave off to the side which could become a further deep vein mine, and as you can see, this is where it's become a tunnel rather than a gorge. I noticed that to try and line up with the other place I had to turn right, and this is where this particular part has stopped so far. But these steps at the side are also to enable me to go up top and have a look as to how I'm progressing, so you can see that this gorge is still cutting through there. Now, if I just follow that forward a little bit and turn left here, this is on the way back to the other property. Matching them up at both ends was something which I thought was a bit of a challenge at first, so I thought what I'd do is I'd go to the other end, and all these blocks you can see I've been cutting away. Anything that's got a torch on it is a result of me mining. This is, I'll go back to what I was saying. So I went to the other house and started digging the gorge out from there, hoping to find a way of them meeting in the middle. This one, as you can see, is the tunnel that's coming from the other property. Now I've got to find a way of linking those two ends together, and once I've linked those two ends together, this will then be a complete gorge throughput to the other place. So I'm not that far off, but there's going to have to be a few little bits of shenanigans to make the two match up. Now what I didn't say in the previous video when I showed you here, is I don't think I did anyway, is that this has actually got two entrances, so I've decided to line it up with this entrance. And as you can see, I've put some chests in here. I've finally put the bed down, so this has now become a resting place. And again, I've labelled what's in the chest: woods, stones, ores and minerals, and everything else. Because when I was coming in before, I was seeing this door and I was going off in the direction ahead where all those birch trees are, and I've since found out that that's actually quite a long and complicated way around. So that's where we are for now. Hi there. I've put the recorder on again because we are not far from making the breakthrough to join the two parts of this gorge up. I'm just doing a final excavation to join the two. So I thought we'd record the moment. Having said that, I've just had something blow up on me, which has kind of put the cat amongst the pigeons a tiny little bit. But no, let's have a look anyway. Let's continue to excavate. As you can see, I'm generating far more rubbish than I can carry, but I ain't worried about that right now. This is a long work in progress coming to fruition. In some respects, that exploding monster won't do my job for me. I think that, my friends, is where the join takes place. Yes, it is. And there we have it. We've connected up the two sides. I've just got to finish clearing it so that it's nice and clean. But we are now a connected gorge. running out of tools very rapidly, like now. So, let's test this out. Go back to the house from this end. Please don't be an exploder. There's my castle house. A nice burning torches on top.